Welcome once again to Commander by Danon. Today's video was brought to us by Patreon supporter Muffins. Huge thanks to Muffins and the rest of my Patreon supporters. Muffins reached out asking for a deck built around Klauuth, Unrivaled Ancient, and I was more than happy to oblige. But before we get started, I'd like to quickly ask you to like and subscribe. It really does help the channel, and it's free. With that out of the way, let's get into the video. Klauuth, Unrivaled Ancient is a 7-mana 4/4 legendary dragon with flying and haste. Whenever he attacks, we add X mana in any combination of colors, where X is the total power of attacking creatures. But there's a restriction. We can only use that mana to cast spells. Fortunately, that mana doesn't empty from our mana pool as phases and steps end. So we can't use the mana generated by Klauuth to pump our team via Lathless or Moonveil Dragon. We also can't use it to activate Aggravated Assault, giving us infinite attack steps. However, we still want cards like that in our deck, and I'll tell you why. Klauuth is a 7-mana commander, so in order to cast him in a reasonable time, say turn 4, we want a ton of ramp. But once he's on the battlefield, ideally he should be generating enough mana for us to cast whatever other cards we want. So what are we going to do with all the lands and rocks we've already ramped out? Simple. We use those to pump our team via Lathless or give ourselves extra combat steps via Aggravated Assault. But before we get to our deck list, we should keep in mind our checklist. 50 mana sources, usually split between 37 lands and 13 pieces of ramp, 10 pieces of card advantage, 8 to 10 pieces of spot removal, 2 to 3 board wipes, 2 pieces of graveyard hate, and 1 sudden I win card. Command Tower, Exotic Orchard, Stomping Ground, Spire Garden, Rockfall Vale, Rootbound Crag, Highland Forest, Wooded Ridgeline, Cinderglade, Karplusan Forest, Temple of Abandon, Slagwoods Bridge, Gruul Turf, Scavenger Grounds, Myriad Landscape, Evolving Wilds, Terramorphic Expanse, 10 forests, and 10 mountains make up the lands in our deck. Goblin and Archimancer, Rampant Growth, Farseek, Cultivate, Kodama's Reach, Animist's Awakening, Old Gnawbone, Dragon's Horde, Soul Ring, Arcane Signet, Nature's Lore, 3 Visits, Skyshroud Claim, and Thrawn Dynamo make up our mana ramp. I know that's a lot of ramp, but we are casting dragons with this deck. Colossal Majesty, Kindred Summons, Jeska's Will, Soul's Majesty, Harmonize, Wheel of Misfortune, Big Score, Escape to the Wilds, Elemental Bond, Guardian Project, and Sunbird's Invocation make up our card advantage package. Klauuth's Will, Red Sun's Twilight, Heroic Intervention, Abrade, Bolt Bend, Hull Breach, Decimate, Chaos Warp, Force of Vigor, and Titania's Command make up our deck's interaction. Blasphemous Act, and Earthquake. Gotta make sure our opponents don't get a wall of tokens before we can stop them. Scourge of the Throne, Relentless Assault, Savage Beating, Aggravated Assault, and Fury of the Horde ensure our dragons get to swing out more than once. Crackle with Power, Comet Storm, and Jaya's Immolating Inferno all act as finishers. To help our creatures deal more damage, in order to close out the game faster and generate more mana for us, we're running Unnatural Growth, Zapandrel Hunger Dominus, Crucible of Fire, and Thrakkus the Butcher. Remember, Klauuth cares about the total power of our attacking creatures. Savage Ventmaw, Atarka World Render, Drakuseth Maw of Flames, Utvara Hellkite, Wrathful Red Dragon, Terror of the Peaks, Lathless Dragon Queen, Moonveil Dragon, Scourge of Valkus, Skyline Despot, Earthquake Dragon, and Shivan Devastator make up the core of our deck. Finally, Tyvar's Stand serves as our sudden I win card. Now that we have our deck list, we can compare it to our checklist. 52 mana sources split between 37 lands and 15 pieces of ramp. A little high, but dragons are expensive, so it's fine. 11 pieces of card advantage, 12 pieces of interaction or spot removal counting our big X spells, 2 board wipes, 2 pieces of graveyard hate in Titania's Command and Scavenger Grounds, 1 sudden I win card in Tyvar's Stand. That being said, I really like Titania's Command and should probably be running it in more green decks. As a general rule, I prefer flexible cards in Commander. It's one of the reasons I run a Braid in almost every red deck. You can kill a small commander or remove an annoying artifact as needed. Overall, I'm very happy with how this deck turned out. We've got plenty of card advantage so we can churn through our deck, lots of interaction so we can blow up our opponents, and even some protection so we can keep our board online. Do you have a dragon deck? Who's your commander? Leave a comment below. Thanks for tuning in. Once again, a huge shout out to my editor Cute Stuff. I couldn't make these videos without her. If you'd like to hire her to edit your own videos, there's a link to her Fiverr page below. If you're looking for ways to support the channel directly, you can head on over to patreon.com/Danon. One of the tiers is specifically set up for Commander. For only $25, I will build you a custom Commander deck based around your specifications and even do a deck video on it. I also wanted to give a quick shout out to all of my patrons: Waffles, Jiraiya, Muffins, Marcus, Phoenix of Ice, Squishy, Brett, Roxy, Brian, Josh, Sean, OT, Richard, Pop Zombie, Mark, and Michael. You guys are awesome. I post new Commander deck videos often, so be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified of new videos. Also, if you're a fan of anime and manga like I am, feel free to check out my other channel, Musings by Danon. Again, thanks for watching, and I'll see you all again next time on Commander by Danon.